Hey everyone, welcome back to No Man's Sky. This is Beeblebum, and today I would like to talk to you about ship customization. Now, the idea of ship customization has been a point of discussion for many players. Some believe it would benefit all No Man's Sky players to allow them to personalize their own vessels, while others fear that if this feature were to be implemented, then hunting for ships would become obsolete. Personally, I am a firm believer in the idea of customization for ships. I've always thought it would benefit all players as long as we protect their playstyles and find ways to make this new mechanic beneficial, rather than taking away from what they love about No Man's Sky. So, instead of taking away the reasons for ship hunting, we only need to shift the focus. In today's video, I would like to share my idea on how ship customization and ship hunting could go hand in hand and make the whole endeavor even more exciting and interesting. I've been thinking really hard about how to explain this without losing the plot of it all, so let me see if I can explain it properly. Currently, to find yourself a ship, you fly to a system, then go to a location where pilots regularly land. For example, a space station, trading post, planetary archives, or the freighters. Then you wait for your ship to land, you look at the style, what colors they have, and what class they are. If you find a ship you like, then you purchase it. And if you're a hunter, then you share your findings. But in general, that is it. You found yourself a one-piece ship. To explain my idea, let us take this fighter right here as an example. The ship here is in one piece. It is already predetermined what class it is, what statistics it has, and the amount of inventory and storage it has. Granted, you can upgrade most of this, but you are stuck with the baseline that you cannot change. So let me now open this ship by having a look at it with the Starship Outfitting terminal. The fighter is made out of separate parts, all of which can be interchanged by procedural generation. Now, the fighter is one of the simplest ships if it comes to the number of parts. It has a body, engine, and wings. But it has quite a nice selection of different types for each of them. The fighter currently has 3 engine types, 9 body types, and 22 wing styles. If procedural generation can put a ship together out of all these parts, it seems very likely to me it should be simple to allow us to do this manually as well. But simply allowing us to put ships together at will would make it boring and uninteresting. Making it a scavenger hunt would make it so much more fun and entertaining. Now, I already know what you're saying. Even with the variety of parts that exist in game now, which is about 160 different styles over all ships, these parts would be found fairly quickly and there would be no more need to hunt for them. But that is where the rest of my idea comes into the picture. What if each of these parts has its own procedurally generated statistics? What I mean by that is, let us say you found a vector wing for a fighter. What if that specific wing has its own performance statistics? But suppose this is not the greatest wing you could find. It has a nice 15% boost to the speed of your ship, but it also makes you lose 5% maneuverability. When installing that wing, these percentages are added and deducted from the general ship statistic, which is made up of all the parts installed on it. So even if you would have a great engine installed which has a 25% boost to maneuverability, because of the wing, your ship now only has 20% boost to maneuverability. So it is in your best interest to find another wing, a better wing, that does suit your need best. Perhaps you found a Halo wing that has a way better performance, but you don't really like the look of it. So you will have to look for the preferred wing type that also has a great performance. But that doesn't mean you cannot install the Halo wing and use it as long as you need it until you find yourself a better wing. Putting your ship together like this will really make it a whole new experience that will keep the player base busy much longer. And ship hunters can now expand their search to not only find great ships that have a great baseline, now they can find and share locations of ship parts. But it does not end there. What if the parts have their own speciality? For example, take the wing with the droid. What if that adds a bonus stat specific to just that type of wing? Maybe it pings you when you're nearby an S-class hotspot. Shielded balls add more shield protection to the ship or reduces the chance of the authorities finding contraband in your cargo hold. All this could really add so much more depth to customization and ship hunting, all apart from just being aesthetic. Beauty would not always mean efficiency. Alright, now how do we find these parts? While scrapping ships would be one way to obtain them, I feel it would be a rather bland experience after a while. It would also not really add anything to the exploration part of the game. I think it would add so much more value to the game loop if these parts are found in derelict freighters, or perhaps crashed freighters, or outposts protected by sentinels, or maybe they could add junkyards like points of interest on planets. Now, the reason I feel like this should be more challenging is because the problem with the game is that when things become too easy to get, people lose interest pretty quickly. For me personally, it would also add so much more content value, as you can really make it into an adventure to go and look for a ship part. Therefore, I also think these parts should be exactly what they are: parts. No blueprints you can build 50 times again, no, simply one part that you can install on your ship and take off again to replace with better parts. I also think these parts should be protected somehow against duping, just to make sure these finds are valuable and worth sharing their locations. While I'm not judging anyone that wants to dupe in a game, it is simply a fact that duping and sharing ship parts would completely ruin the mechanic of it. I'm not sure how Hello Games could implement it, as they have not had much luck in avoiding it, but perhaps by using a separate inventory list that cannot be manipulated by trading or reloading, I think it could work. There are many ways Hello Games could go with this idea and expand on it even more than what I tried to explain here. Like actually having weapon slots on parts. For example, your wing has 2 weapon slots. Weapons could perhaps then have their own statistic. Perhaps you could find them as parts as well, or maybe you have to purchase them from a vendor. I think with a bit of work, weapon modules and adjacency bonuses could become a thing of the past. Sorry Zane. But that would also clear up more storage, because the weapon itself has its own statistics. Maybe I'm going too far with it now, but you can clearly see there are many possibilities to make ship hunting and customization a beautiful and interesting experience without breaking any of them. So here are my conclusions on what ship customization could mean. First of all, it would give players a sense of ownership and individuality. By allowing players to customize their ships, we would be giving them another way to express themselves and make their ships their own. This would add an extra layer of personalization to the game and help players feel more connected to their ship. It would also add new gameplay possibilities. One of the things that No Man's Sky is so special about is the sense of exploration and discovery. Having players search and find each part of their ship can only boost that sense. Since players would be able to customize the appearance and abilities of the ship, it would open up a world of new gameplay possibilities. For example, you could create a ship that is specifically designed for combat or for exploring new worlds. The possibilities are endless. It would also strengthen community bonds. One of the best things about games like No Man's Sky is that they bring people together. By allowing players to customize their ship, we would be giving them another way to connect with one another and build community bonds by sharing locations of their finds and showing off their personally built ships. And it would also make the game more fun. At the end of the day, that is what matters most. If ship customization makes the game more fun, then that's a good thing for everyone involved. The idea that the whole community could benefit from this is what really excites me. And you know, it's not too hard to see why this would not be possible. I know this would be an incredible undertaking, but if anyone can do something like this, then I'm sure Hello Games are the ones. Anyway, let me know in the comments what you thought about my idea, and if you enjoyed this video, I would love for you to hit that like. Thank you so much for watching. This was Beeblebum. Goodbye for now.